Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods here. Wake up, guys. And thank you for joining into this morning's edition of Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys, because you literally cannot sleep on the Dallas Cowboys. Things happen late in the evening, late at night, first thing in the morning, so you want to be up to speed with all that is America's team. And boy, the team is in the middle of OTAs, finally getting the whole team together, getting the new parts, working with the older parts and the really old parts, and Jason Witt and Sean Lee, as well as a few others. But the team thus far, keeping our fingers crossed, the only injury that we've heard is Leighton Vander Esch with a pelvic injury, but it doesn't seem to be anything too serious. Other than that, we've having the veterans having some time off. Of course, your Tyron Smiths, your Jason Witten and stuff. Well, because mainly they know what they're doing. And you want to get as many reps as possible for all the new guys because we want to get this in the fold that when we get to training camp, nobody's eyes are bugged out like a deer caught in the headlights. Now, I did a video yesterday because Chris Long, NFL Man of the Year of this past year, two-time Super Bowl winning Chris Long, and I think I said Jake Long in there a couple times by mistake. You guys know I've had brain injuries and things, so forgive me when I make a brain fart like that. But Chris Long admitted that he smoked weed on a regular basis during his career because basically he was only tested once a year. And you knew when that was going to be. You stop a month or two ahead of time, take pain pills and drink alcohol instead, and then, get through that. Boom, you're good for the next 10 months. And he didn't want to throw anybody under the bus, but he said it's pretty much the way it is in the NFL. It's basically once you get caught, like Randy Gregory did in working out at the combine, you are in the system. And once you're in the system, you get random tests on a regular basis and weekly tests. So, you're made an example of the system. And we have vilified Randy Gregory that he's a degenerate, he's a bum, he's a loser and things. It's just, well, if he's guilty of something, he's guilty of not knowing how to take the test like everybody else does. And for me, it's kind of hard to look and say, okay, you have others that are over here admitting that they just know how to play the game, and you're vilifying this one guy who doesn't. So to me, this is where the NFL really needs to take a hard look at this immediately. They're doing a study over the next 2 years about pain management and the use of marijuana as well as other drugs, which I applaud and will probably be part of the collective bargaining agreement. But after hearing that whole conversation from Chris Long, who is an advocate of making it legal, you got to look hard at Randy Gregory and say, listen, there's no transgressions other than smoking weed with this guy. If guys can get through domestic violence and be back in playing, how is it a guy who just gets high can't? Other news, Dak Prescott's people, of course, put in a counteroffer to the Dallas Cowboys. Apparently, the Cowboys aren't shocked and awed by the amount because Jerry says the deal is going well and they're going to get a deal struck. So I think it's just a matter of time on that one. They also need, of course, to get Amari Cooper's deal done. We've heard that, the negotiations are going nowhere. The Cowboys were shocked by the number and things and so forth. We really don't know. All of this stuff is just speculation, and a lot of times we hear things that we take to heart and believe to be fact, and we don't really know. We were told that Zeke Elliott was going to hold out because of wanting a new contract. Well, so far he hasn't been holding out. Maybe it'd been nice if he had held out of Las Vegas, but he hasn't been holding out. And we'll see what Dak Prescott's counteroffer is. I'm sure it's going to be leaked sometime soon. If here's where if the Cowboys had been in shock, it would have leaked how high a number it would have been to try and put him on blast, to try and get not political, public pressure to kind of get him to come back down to earth in the way they did with DeMarcus Lawrence. But thus far, we haven't seen that, so maybe we'll get this thing done and we can move on to greener pastures. And speaking of greener pastures, I know it's only OTAs. We don't have the pads on. We're not going full speed. You don't have the whole team out there. However, what we've been hearing is Dak Prescott's footwork has been much, much better and looking smoother, and that may be the effect of having John Kitna there working with Dak, of course, getting himself together, getting the footwork, getting the timing down, and taking that next step. And that is the thing that I think he's really, really been missing. Wade Wilson was his coach when he entered the NFL, and literally, you might as well say he really didn't have OTAs and off-season work because he was behind Jameel Showers in some people's minds. He'd get one rep in practice during OTAs, one rep, and was third string on the depth chart going into his rookie year until Kellen Moore broke his ankle, and then Tony Romo broke his back. All of the training that he got was really about the last 3 weeks of training camp starting that season. So now that you've got John Kitna, who's a veteran quarterback who's been there, it'll be interesting to see how big a step he takes, especially having now some really good talent around him. This was the press conference from yesterday.
They're all great. They've all been very, very positive. I know I love everything that the changes the new coaches have been doing, Kellen Kitna, just how active Kitna is as a coach, just the way he's pushing us to get better here and there and all the little things of the game, just being a technician at the quarterback spot. And he kind of said it his best. Every other position has gotten more technical over the years, where it seems like the quarterback position has kind of faded away from that. So just good to get back to the basics, getting better at the drops, getting better at how you're basing everything you want to be when you throw the ball. So it's good to have that, and just with everything Kellen's doing with the offense, it's been exciting.
How much is the layman like us going to notice changes?
You might notice a little bit, but at the end of the day, you'll notice it. You'll definitely notice it because we're presenting things different. The way the plays that we run, things like that, I don't know how much I can tell you. We're just going to have a whole new offensive plays and things like that, but they'll definitely be presented different ways, and I'll be a big help for us.
Dak, can you quantify how critical this offseason is for you?
It's huge. It's huge for me. It's huge for this team. It's huge for this offense and just everybody getting better. My main focus is to come in, just get better each and every day, make sure I'm pushing all my teammates, and I know if I do that, we'll become out a better team at the end of these OTAs.
Granted, this is still pretty new, the install and working with Kitna as well as Kellen Moore, but how does that relationship work in terms of the meeting rooms right now, the installation? How does that relationship and the system work so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. It's been Kellen installer for the most part, and then, as I said, Kitna has been right there, right? I guess you can say partner in crime, I guess, in installing or telling us where we need to go versus this coverage or that coverage. But Kellen's definitely taken over this whole offense, putting his spin on it. It's been great.
So Kellen is sort of scheming it up then, and then Kitna's helping implement it? I guess I'm just trying to get how the system works.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So I was right, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly right.
What you see from Randall Cobb?
Say again?
What you see from Randall Cobb? He said that he came to you at the Pro Bowl and said, "Come and get me." Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was at the wasn't at the
Pro Bowl, the NFL Honors.
Exactly. At the NFL Honors, we're getting ready to take our seat, and he said that. Yeah, it's interesting looking back, and now a couple of practices in with him. Incredibly smart guy, and I think that's going to be the best thing that helps him. Just pick everything up and just get going and be a big-time player in this offense. I mean, his background of playing the quarterback really shows when he's asking what number am I in the read, when he's supposed to come in and block a guy that's in the box and you don't even have to motion him. You look up and he's already in the box, and so things like that. He's been great, and he's going to benefit this team in so many ways. Yeah, it's huge. I mean, there's things out there today, missing a pass here or there, and it was probably one of our first times actually coming into that situation. So to be able to attack that right now in day 2 of OTAs and knowing it's going to pay us well come the season, it's been great. Another just smart guy that wants to learn, that wants to be on the same page, and when you have that, it makes it fun.
What excites you most about this team?
You just said it, the names you just said, Randall Cobb, Amari Cooper, Zeke Elliott, having Jason Witten back, young Michael Gallup coming along, and not even mentioning Tavon Austin and Noah Brown, guys that are helping. Incredibly talented group. It's going to make my job a whole lot easier. The way Kellen's presenting this thing is just, it's going to be fun. Just know you've got to get the ball to these guys and let them go do what they do best. So it's going to be fun in the OTAs, and can't wait to really get this thing going.
How do you think you guys can?
What would you say to them, because you've worked with them so closely since you've come in learned? Like, what sets him apart?
I wouldn't say anything to them. They scratch their heads for everything. So Kellen's a great guy. Kellen's made himself a long career. I mean, he's one of the most winningest, or the most winningest college football player, and then had what did he do? 8 years or something like that in the NFL. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just taking a guess. Is that right? 5 or 6 or whatever. But it's a guy that just has so much football knowledge, and you look around the league and everybody's looking for that new young hire, that guy that has the brains, the guys that played not too long ago that can incorporate a little bit of the new football with the old NFL style. And I think he has a great way of doing it. He has a great way of seeing the game, and it's been fun.
There's so much talk about the contract and what you could get. And I know you said it's a big year for you anyway, but do you feel any pressure to prove that you're worth this, or do you think you've already proved this, or what's your mindset in regards to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at numbers, I think a lot of it's about the market. So I don't really pay attention to any of that. I come in and I just prove myself each and every day to these other guys in this locker room. That's the only thing that I have to worry about. And I know if I'm doing that and getting better, good things happen. So that's out of my focus. As I said before, I've got a great team in place to handle that, and it'll get done eventually.
Have you guys submitted a counter proposal yet to the Cowboys' initial offer?
Yes. You tell me. You seem to know everything, so you tell me.
There you go.
How close were you guys initially?
I mean, I can't. I mean, I can't really say on that. I mean, it's one from each side. So, it's my first time doing this. Ask me in a few years, and I'll know. I'll be able to tell you. Okay, we've sent this one. They've sent this one. We're about to get it done. But as right now, I'm learning the process to it, and just letting my team handle their business.
You know, Amari racing to the tape.
I don't know what Amari's got going on. I just hope he catches the balls I throw. I ain't worried about that.
All right, so as you, the things that I loved about that interview was, well, one, that he's got a counter proposal in, and hopefully we're going to be close to getting this thing done so we can move on. But talking about Kellen Moore, you can actually see how much respect that he has for Kellen Moore about his time that he's been in the NFL. He said 8 years, but then wasn't sure how many years he was in the NFL, basically as a journeyman quarterback. But he talked about his time in college and stuff, being, of course, the all-time leader from his school, and his wealth of knowledge and being that next guy to take it to another level, and how they're incorporating a lot of new stuff with this offense, and that's got to bode well. You can see the excitement on his face about having, the weapons around him, having Amari Cooper, Randall Cobb, Jason Witten back. But he also then talked about having Zeke Elliott and Noah Browns and Alan Hearn. So it's great because he's giving credit all the way around. He's recognizing all of the people that are part of this. And if you don't think that everybody isn't part of this, I want you to think back, because a lot of people will say, Alan Hearns, what did he do? I tell you what Alan Hearns did. Alan Hearns lost his leg and held on to the football. And if you remember, that ended up being a first down. That was a third down throw. Had he dropped that ball, who knows if we ended up winning that game against Seattle, because that would have killed a drive. And everybody, from one play here or one play there, it might be a guy that nobody knows that ends up saving your season. So you want to make sure everybody out there is recognized, feels part of the team, feels part of the process. That, my friends, is how a team ends up beating other teams that have more talent, because they play as one unit. And Dak Prescott, I'm telling you, he may have some warts. He may have some things to work on. That guy gets people to believe in him and believe in themselves. And that, my friends, is it. Well, I got to get to my day job. But as always, friends, thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. I'll see you soon.